Topeka City leaders are looking at a new plan that could move several fire stations, and it could come with a big price tag. We'll show you where the new stations could go in the capital city. And one of the state's biggest country music festivals is getting a new home once again. Find out where the Country Stampede is headed next summer, coming up on 13 News this morning.
Live, local, experienced. This is 13 News This Morning, Kansas News Leader.
Good morning and welcome to 13 News This Morning. I'm Jared Broyles. Raina Flores will join us with a First Alert Weather live report in just a moment. But in the First Alert Weather Center right now, meteorologist Mitchell Keys. And Mitchell, I know at Maple Hill, there's a state highway that is shut down because of flash flooding. And then over at the Douglas-Shawnee County line, there's one shut down because of storm damage. So we have quite the range of damage across the area that people need to watch out for this morning. So what are some of the local storm reports that you're seeing and hearing about?
Yeah, Jared, we've seen quite a few local storm reports this morning, all the way from around Concordia extending to Lawrence, as you can see. And those range from anywhere from flooding to severe thunderstorm related damage. Not seeing any tornadoes confirmed yet, but there may be some surveys that happen today for those. But we have seen a lot of rain over the past 24 to 48 hours, between around half an inch to upwards of 4+ inches across the I-70 corridor, and that has prompted a flash flood warning to be issued from around Salina to Lawrence for all of that area that has seen so much rain. Currently seeing a complex of storms moving through right now from our Prairie Bank Casino and Resort Live storm tracker, and that has prompted a flood watch to be issued until around 7 a.m. this morning. Current temperatures right now are in the 60s and 70s, so a little bit mild and muggy. Will continue to be mild and muggy, actually warm and muggy as we go throughout today, as our temperatures will be in the 90s with mostly sunny skies for much of the day. So we do have that heat advisory for potential heat index values reaching into the triple digits. So you will want to take all of those precautions, including wearing the proper clothing, checking on your pets, children, and the elderly, and drinking plenty of water.
All right, thank you, Mitchell. Well, last night's severe weather has caused chaos across northeast Kansas. 13's Raina Flores is live on the scene near Lake Shawnee in Topeka with damage there. Raina?
So, Jared, like Mitchell was saying, what made last night's storm so dangerous was the damaging winds. And this is a perfect example of what they're trying to warn the community about. We are at a home just off of Southeast 29th and Shawnee Drive. Now, this is exactly, we have a tree right here, right in front of you, and then this front yard is covered in limbs. So this is a little bit about what happened. 13 Eric Ives talked to the owner, and she said she heard a loud bang, kind of like a freight train. I know that's a popular phrase that people use, but all of a sudden the air pressure in the house seemed like it was being sectioned, and then the doors were opening, and even the blades on their fans were being bent upwards. Now, this entire neighborhood is out of power. This house specifically that we're at is running on a generator. So, but these damaging winds weren't the only caution. Flooding was also an issue. Now, 13 Eric Ives also responded this morning to a water rescue. The water rescue was just at Southeast 29, just east of Kansas Avenue. 2 cars were submerged. The people in the car were able to get out of the car on their own, and the people in the second vehicle, which there was 5 people, were being rescued from the top of the car. Now, they were rescued by a raft. Now, the 13's Eric I spoke with a fireman who said that it was even difficult getting to that location and getting to the scene, because they said when they were responding, a lot of the streets that they were going to take were flooded, so that caused complications. But we will keep you updated throughout the morning about other storm damage that we're seeing in our area. But for now, I'm going to send it back to you, Jared.
All right, thank you, Raina. Much of the area is under a flood watch through 7 a.m. this morning, so please be very careful out there. The water is not completely receded in some of these areas. Well, the severe weather also caused other issues across northeast Kansas and our 17-county area. 13's Cole Hermes is live in the newsroom now with the latest. Good morning, Cole.
Thanks, Jared. A couple of highways are closed this morning due to flooding from last night's weather. KDOT says K-18 is closed in both directions between K-177 near Manhattan and K-99 about a mile east of Wabunsee. And CanDrive reports a closure between I-70 and the end of K-30, which went into effect around 1 a.m. There's no estimated reopening time for either closure. Also, there are nearly 82,000 customers without power this morning in Kansas. The most are in Saline with more than 23,000. Shawnee County has nearly 22,000, and Riley County has over 12,000. Gary, Osage, Douglas, and Marion counties combined have more than 8,000. For the full list, you can check poweroutage.us on their website. In the newsroom, Uncle Hermish, 13 News.
Taking a look at CanDrive this morning, US 40 in both directions is closed. That's at the Douglas and Shawnee County lines, 3 miles east of Tecumseh. So look out for storm debris in that area. It is closed. K30 is closed in both directions due to flooding between I-70 and the end of KS30. As Cole said, that's 1 mile south of the Maple Hill area. Look out for flooding in that area. The road is closed. Topeka city leaders are looking at a new plan that could move several fire stations, and it could come with a big price tag. We'll show you where the new stations could go in the capital city. And one of the state's biggest country music festivals is getting a new home once again. It's on the move. Find out where the Country Stampede is headed next summer. Coming up on 13 News this morning.
Live, local, experienced. This is 13 News This Morning, Kansas News Leader.
Good morning and welcome to 13 News This Morning. I'm Jared Broyles. Raina is out live this morning for us because we had severe storms through the area across the night with flash flooding, and we're still dealing with that this morning, as well as down power lines and power outages and storm damage that's closed roadways. So right now, here's First Alert meteorologist Mitchell Keys in the First Alert Weather Center for us to take a look at what we're hearing across the area and what you need to be paying attention to as you head out the door this morning. Good morning, Mitchell.
Good morning, Jared. Boy, was it a wild night as far as the severe weather goes, as we saw a lot of reports of storm damage and hail, damaging winds, and potentially some flooding across the area as well. Currently, we have seen between around half an inch and around 4+ inches of rain across northeast Kansas, with much of that centered along the I-70 corridor. And as a result, we do have flash flood warnings in place, or river flood warnings. Those flash flood warnings have been dropped, but we still have that flood watch as we see rain moving through the area right now, and that lasts until 7 a.m. this morning. Current temperatures right now are in the 60s and 70s, but we will warm up into the 90s with mostly sunny skies and southerly flow. So we will see our temperatures really start to heat up, and that has prompted a heat advisory to be issued until 7 p.m. this evening for heat index values upwards of 110 degrees. So it's going to be a hot day. You will want to make sure to take all precautions because it will have dangerous heat, and heat is the #1 weather-related killer. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Mitchell. Well, last night's severe weather has caused chaos across northeast Kansas, across all 17 of our counties. 13's Raina Flores is live on the scene near Lake Shawnee with what she's seeing. There are downed big trees that are down in that area. Good morning, Raina.
Are waking up to storm damage even on their lawn. This family specifically is waking up to limbs and trees all over, scattered across their lawn. Now we're in the area of Southeast 26th and Shawnee Drive. This whole entire neighborhood has no power, and we saw downed trees on cars, on mailboxes, all over the place. Now this is just, you can't even tell where their actual lawn is. Now we do have some tree limbs up on the roof as well. There's a window underneath all these trees, if you can tell up here. So this is a little bit about what this family experienced. 13's Eric Ives and I spoke to the owner of this house, and she said at around midnight she was woken up by a loud bang that sounded like a freight train. And she said all of a sudden the air pressure in their house seemed like it was being suctioned. The doors were opening, and even the blades on the fan in the attic were bent upward. Now, Mitchell was talking about how last night's storms was super dangerous because of these damaging winds, and we showed you in the last hour of some of the trees that completely toppled over. But another thing that they were talking about and warning people is flooding. they take flooding very seriously, and here's why. Earlier this morning, 13's Eric Ives also went to a scene of a water rescue where there's 2 cars involved. One car, the 2 people in there got out on their own. But in the other car, there was 5 people total in that car, and they went to the top of their car and were rescued by a raft. Now, Eric Ives did speak to a fireman who said they had complications even getting to the scene because so many streets were flooded and it was hard to get to the destination that they needed to go in a timely manner. Now, throughout the morning, we will keep you updated on storm coverage and everything that Northeast Kansas has been experiencing, whether that's no power or down trees. We're going to send it back to you, Jared. We'll see you later in the morning.
All right. Thank you, Raina Flores. And for photojournalist Eric Ives live for us this morning. Of course, flooding also a major issue. Flash flood warning continues through 7 a.m. this morning. But of course, the areas that have flooded does not mean that the water will have receded by that time. So pay attention to the areas that you know flood and be sure and travel around those, not through them. The severe weather also caused other issues across the region. 13's Cole Hermish is live in the newsroom with what some of those are. Good morning, Cole.
Good morning, Jared. A couple highways are closed this morning due to flooding from last night's weather. KDOT says K18 is closed in both directions between K177 near Manhattan and K99 about a mile east of Wabaunsee. And CanDrive reports a closure between I-70 and the end of K30 right outside of Maple Hill, which went into effect around 1 a.m. And US 40 between K4 and Douglas County and the Shawnee County line is closed. That's east of Tecumseh. There is no estimated reopening time for either closure. Also, there are over 50,000 customers without power this morning in Kansas. The most are in Saline County with more than 18,000. Shawnee County has nearly 16,000 and Riley County has over 5,000. Geary, Osage, Douglas, and Marion counties combined have more than 4,000. Now, you can check this full list at poweroutage.us. In the newsroom, I'm Cole Hermish, 13 News.
All right, thank you, Cole. A new memo reveals a new recommendation for relocating Topeka fire stations. District 2 City Council member Christina Valdivia Alcala shared the memo City Manager Dr. Robert Perez sent to the governing body. It's the latest in discussions going back more than 15 years on how to best cover fire protection needs in the city. Recommendations center on these 3 stations, currently covering North Topeka and Oakland. Yesterday's memo updates recommendations from last year, moving those 3 stations to the locations you see here pinned in red. Notably, a new station at Southwest 6th and Fairlawn. Lower Silver Lake Road Station 11 would move to North Topeka Boulevard and Lyman Road near Highway 24, and Station 6 on Northeast Seward would move a bit east, closer to Billard Airport. The new recommendation would phase in construction and relocation to minimize any coverage lapses. Building 3 new fire stations could cost anywhere from $24 to $36 million. Perez said funding could come from bonds or by starting a new sales tax for public safety. The old fire stations would be repurposed. For example, Station 1 at the north end of the Kansas Avenue Bridge would house Topeka Police Department units. According to Perez, the new proposal would increase 4-minute response time coverage from 75% of city households to 82%. Valdivia Alcala expressed concerns the current recommendation does not include reestablishing a fire commission to ensure continued public input. The proposal, of course, is a long way from being final. Dr. Perez said the city plans 3 public meetings next month before presenting a plan to the council. The first is July 9th at Oakland Community Center. Well, the state's favorite country music festival is moving once again. Country Stampede will be held at Gillies Park City starting next summer. Custom entertainment organizers behind Country Stampede say the festival is one of many events moving to the Wichita area venue, which it says will hold nearly twice the guests. This year's Summer Stampede is going to go on in Bonner Springs. Tickets are on sale right now at countrystampede.com. After a weekend of escalation, Israel and Iran say they've now halted military operations. And Pope Leo's visit to Spain is continuing today after a powerful appearance in Parliament. That's coming up next in today's top stories after the break.
You're watching 13 News This Morning.
It is now 6:41, time for a look at stories making national headlines. President Trump watched the New York Knicks face off against the San Antonio Spurs in Manhattan last night, making him the first U.S. sitting president to attend an NBA Finals game. The president was an invited guest of Madison Square Garden CEO James Dolan. His attendance at the game prompted heavy security and mixed reactions. It included the establishment of a 5-block perimeter around the venue. After a weekend of escalated tensions and missile fire exchange, Israel and Iran said yesterday they have halted military operations. This comes as a 2-month-old ceasefire hangs in the balance. President Trump insists that final negotiations to reach a peace deal with the regime are proceeding, but Iranian officials say recent U.S. remarks in the weeks have caused chaos. 2 pilots and a downed helicopter at the Strait of Hormuz, though, are said to be okay. And Pope Leo's visit to Spain continues. Yesterday, the pontiff addressed Spain's parliament and received a 7-minute-long standing ovation after he called for respect for migrants' rights and international law. The Pope will travel to Barcelona today, where he will oversee a prayer vigil at Olympic Stadium.
Seeing some sunshine right now this morning from our Midland Exterior Skycam in downtown Topeka, and from our Prairie Bank Casino and Resort Live Storm Tracker, seeing those showers and storms that we've seen during the middle part of the morning move to the south of the I-35 corridor. We do have some river flood warnings, but that flash flood warning across the area has been canceled, and that flood watch has been canceled as well. It was supposed to last until around 7 a.m. Current temperatures right now across northeastern Kansas are in the 60s and 70s, while our dew points are in the 50s and 60s. So mild and muggy to start off your day, with current wind speeds between around 5 to 25 miles per hour. I do want to give you the first alert that we will see thunderstorm chances tonight through Thursday. We will see a round of storms possible mainly out to the west of Manhattan, and we will continue to see that possibility going into the overnight hours, then another round going into Wednesday afternoon. So we do have a slight 2 out of 5 risk possible for severe weather, including large hail, damaging winds, and also a low tornado threat. And then tomorrow, we're more centered in that threat for all hazards once again for your Wednesday. We could see between around 1/4 of an inch and around 3/4 of an inch of rain through that period. So not needed rain after rain that we got over the past couple days. I also want to give you the first alert that we have a heat advisory in place today that lasts through around 9 o'clock tonight for feels like temperatures between 105 and 110 degrees. So limit afternoon activity outside, drink plenty of water, take plenty of breaks, and check on those pets, kids, and also the elderly, and don't leave anyone in the car. Today's forecast, we will be in the 90s across the area with mostly sunny skies and that dangerous heat. Then tonight we will be in the 70s, and we will see the possibility for storms mainly out to the west of Manhattan once again. And then we will see our temperatures rebound into the 90s with storm chances being abundant tomorrow. And so as we take a look at our 8-day forecast, we will see hot conditions and storms over the next 2 days, 2 or 3 days at that. And then we will see a slight cool down going through Friday, warming back up Saturday, but then we cool down going into next week.
A moment to reflect, a time to remember.
You're watching 13 News This Morning.
Well, skincare tourism has exploded in the past few years, especially in South Korea, where it has a nickname, K-Beauty. Hundreds of thousands of tourists are traveling to the country to get skin treatments and buy products. CBS News correspondent Wendy Gillette paid a visit to Seoul.
3-step routine that helps me go from this to this.
UK-based doctor Christine Hall calls herself a K-beauty expert, detailing on social media her skincare trips to South Korea and the products she buys.
Contains a drug called glycopyrrolate.
Over in the East, they expect high quality, but it also needs to be affordable.
The South Korean Health Ministry says the country saw more than 2 million international visitors for medical treatments in 2025, almost double the previous year.
The opportunities are endless.
It's part of the reason why the luxury travel network Virtuoso recently held its annual travel symposium in Seoul, attracting hundreds of international travel advisors.
South Korea has really positioned itself as sort of this hub for their incredible glass skincare.
For some Americans, Kim Kardashian provided the introduction to Korean skincare. The reality star and social media influencer posted about her trip to the Hwon Clinic in Seoul last year.
After that, we are very busy now.
A doctor's consultation kicks off the clinic's process, which I experienced. Undergoing 7 different procedures with varying degrees of pain. All of it left me looking like this, which transformed into a noticeable difference weeks later with the use of skin boosters only found in South Korea, including exosomes extracted from a patient's own blood at the clinic.
U.S. FDA doesn't approve the skin booster kind of treatment yet.
If traveling to South Korea is not an option, Korean products are widely available in the U.S., including a monthly subscription program called Seoul Beauty Club.
There's more than 30,000 Korean brands in Korea actually, and only a handful of them are available in the U.S.
The business is small but has grown quickly this past year as it exports lesser-known products. Another fast-growing K-beauty trend, head spas, including a 12-step process at Limun-won, which focuses on using oriental medicine to improve hair loss and health. So everything above the neck has new vitality in Korea. Wendy Gillette, CBS News, Seoul.
This is 13 News First Alert Weather.
Your We the People flag giveaway winner for today is Jennifer Beard from Topeka. Scan the QR code on the screen to enter this contest that will last weekdays through July. Current temperatures right now are warm and muggy in the 60s and 70s with those dew points in the 60s currently. So it's just one of those days that you may step outside and it feels like a sauna and your hair frizzes up. Current wind speeds are between 5 and around 25 miles per hour, so you may want to secure those loose objects as well. We are seeing some shower activity and storm activity move to the south of the I-35 corridor from our Prairie Band Casino and Resort Live Storm Tracker. And as we take a look at our Midland exterior sky cam, starting to see blue skies and some clearing there, a welcome sight after a night full of storms and storm damage. We will rise from around the 70s into the 90s by this afternoon before we fall into just the mid to upper 70s for your lows overnight. Muggy meter looks to be very humid or oppressive, so it's going to feel like a sauna basically all day, as we will see feels like temperatures rise all the way into the triple digits, making for some dangerous heat conditions. And again, heat is the #1 weather-related killer, so you do need to take it seriously. Our wind speeds will also amplify that heat, being between around 5 to 25 miles per hour. Today's forecast, I am forecasting it to be in the 90s with those mostly sunny skies. Storm chances return tonight as we will be in the 70s for your lows, and then we will see temperatures in the 90s tomorrow with storm chances being abundant, especially in the afternoon hours. Your 8-day forecast overall going to be hot. We will see storm chances over the next 2 days. Then we see a front move through Wednesday into Thursday and see storm chances as well, possibly Thursday, then drier Friday, and then we see more storm chances during the weekend and cool down going into next week.
Last night, severe weather has wreaked havoc across our 17 counties in northeast Kansas. 13's Raina Flores is live near Lake Shawnee, where southeast Topeka was hit by hail and high winds. Raina?
As everyone is waking up this morning, some are waking up to severe damage from last night's storms. We're at the intersection of Southeast 26 and Shawnee Drive, and over here you can see this lawn is covered in limbs and parts of trees and leaves. If you look closely, you could even see that some of it is actually on the roof. Over here, another tree is on the roof, a hammock down. Over here, there's a trampoline that, oh no, unfortunately for the trampoline, I don't know if the kids will be jumping on it anytime soon. But you can see more trees have fallen. Over here, there's neighbors already picking up on the roof. They're on the roof getting that situated. Everyone has different damage that they need to assess, but we'll get back to you on some of the updates on the damage. Mitchell?
Yeah, fortunately, we are starting to clear out, making for better weather to start cleaning up all that damage from our Prairie Bank Casino and Resort live storm tracker. And from our middle of next year Skycam in Manhattan, starting to see some clear skies out there. We will warm up into the 90s, though, with feels-like temperatures in the triple digits. So if you are cleaning up today, we will have dangerous heat. You need to drink water and take breaks from cleaning that damage up. And then we will fall into the 70s as we go into the overnight hours. Just going to be humid and uncomfortable today, as it already is having to clean up all that storm damage. Today's forecast, we will be in the 90s and we will see mostly sunny skies. Could possibly see some showers and storms tonight as well, mainly isolated, scattered in the western half of our area, mainly west of Topeka. And we will continue to be hot into tomorrow with another severe storm chance tomorrow and potentially late Thursday, before we cool down slightly Friday, and then we warm back up Saturday with more storm chances, and then we cool back down on Sunday, and we stay cooler than average next week with wetter than average conditions.
Well, it's hard to believe that it's going to be steamy and hot today, because it actually was a little cool and nice this morning when I first came in after the rain. So it's going to change quickly.
It just won't stop.
It won't, will it? Hey, thanks for watching 13 News this morning. Mitchell and I are back for midday in Kansas. Stay tuned for AM Extra with Jared and Raina starting at 8 a.m. And then, of course, our statewide newscast is at 9. And then Mitchell has Doug's Day Planner at 10:30. Have a great day, everyone.